Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PGT Time. PGT Time. Tune in on PGT Time. PGT Time. Come join us on PGT Time. PGT Time. Join us on PGT Time. PGT Time. Yeah.
In order for y'all to do what God is calling y'all to do, to take y'all platform for it to plateau and it can go to levels that you never seen, they'll best believe it's gonna come with devils.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like they know what I'm gonna say because it's polite. But I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody gonna clean it up.
I just wanna be your girl. Fuck up your world. Pass me the Dutch and I'll burn. Ooh. I want you to be my guy. Fuck up your life. I feel like you leave my side. Sometimes this is a girl's perspective. Ooh, this is a girl's perspective. Ooh, I'm a August of light. I'ma tell you all the right things, and I'ma get us so high. Get you comfortable to spend the night. Then I'ma switch up in my mood. I'ma play it off cool. Start doing stuff you wouldn't want me to. Then find something, blame it all on you. I want it to be your girl. Better your world. Make these souls clutch they pearls. Oh, I wanted you to be my guy. Make me your wife. I just wanna see you strive. Just without you in my life. Oh, this is a girl's perspective. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hey, it's your girl, the missus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. Yes. What's goody, y'all? What's goody in the city? Welcome to PGT Time. I know we got some first timers out there. I know we do. So thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. I am on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay, and Saturday. Now, I've been slipping this Saturday. This month, I'll say that. This month, I've been a little slipping on Saturdays, you know, because it's summertime. It's summertime. We be outside and everything. But we're definitely on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure y'all tune in. Let me put the times up. Thank y'all. Now, let me check my sound. Now, y'all know I be having some computer issues sometimes. So let me check my sound and make sure I'm good over here on my end. Again, thank y'all for joining. Let's see. Is the sound good? Let's see. Thank y'all for joining. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Is the sound good? Yep, it sounds good to me. So it should sound good to you. All right. Well, we got a special guest. We got a special guest. Shout out to our special guest. Y'all know Wednesdays is my favorite edition. My favorite edition is Peachy News. All my shows got their own name except for Mondays. Okay, Mondays just Peachy time. But Peachy News Edition has always been my favorite because we have families. We have families that come on each and every Wednesday. Okay, each and every Wednesday they come on. They tell their loved one's story on how they was murdered through gun violence, domestic violence, the prison system, or even by the police. We also have families that come up about missing person cases. What else? Suicide, just as well. So we bring them on. So if you guys know somebody out there that has been through something like that in those categories, please bring them to Peach Tea Time. Okay? You need to know the information? Here we go.
Peachy Tea Time is for the culture. If you or someone you know that has dealt with the death of a loved one due to gun violence, domestic violence, the prison system, or even by the police, Peachy Tea Time also provides a platform for missing person cases as well as wrongfully imprisoned inmates. Please like and share this video to get the word out, so the families can get their loved ones' stories out. Email peachyteatime at peachyteatime@gmail.com. You can also DM, inbox, or text to 470-620-9916. Thanks for watching.
All right, there y'all go. There y'all go. Y'all just got all the information. And if y'all at home right now, if you are at home right now and this is your first time, your very first time ever watching Peachy Tea Time, baby, leave your phone on. And if you got a Roku stick, or a Roku TV, put me on your TV, baby. Put me on your TV, okay? Download Peachy Tea Time, time spelled with the Y, okay? Download it on your app, and boom, add me, and you'll be able to watch me on TV right now, live. Right now, live. All right. So let's go ahead and bring up our guest, my co-host for Wednesdays, Jason. Jason, he home with the kids by himself. You know, y'all know me. I'm keeping 100 with y'all. He at home with the kids by himself. So he said he gonna be a little late. He gonna be a little late, but he coming. He coming. Y'all know how Jason is. He gonna come. He gonna show up. Okay. So until then, baby, we are about to bring up this beautiful mother. This beautiful mother. Me and her have talked over the phone. I have heard the story. I have looked up the news articles. I have saw the news broadcast cast, because that's all I could find. It was just one. And y'all know I'm big on that when it comes to our Black community. That's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do. Okay? But Miss John Dale is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. I will say that. When we talked on the phone, baby, we talked on the phone. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring this lovely lady up, and she's going to let us know what brought her to Peachy Tea Time, baby. Peachy News Edition at that. Okay? Here she go. Miss John Dale, baby. Miss John Dale, baby. Hey, John Dale.
Hi, I'm good.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining us tonight, for trusting me with your son's story just as well. You know, that's the most important thing, for trusting me with his story. But before we get started, I see Jason down in the building, okay? So let's go ahead and bring up Jason. He right on time, baby. He right on time. He just missed my whole little spiel. The missus with the kisses. Let's bring up Jason. Hey, Jason.
Yo, what up, though? How y'all doing? Welcome in. I see y'all. My apologies for being a tad bit late. I had daddy duty. I was solo daddy duty tonight, so
I'm
we
so
here though
happy
now,
you ain't lying. I'm so
right?
happy you ain't lying because I had already told them the damn truth.
Oh,
Explicit language, explicit language, and also allegedly. But of course, what Miss John Dale got to say about her baby ain't nothing allegedly about that. Okay. But Jason, thank you so much. You right on time. We literally just got started. We just pulled
all
up
right.
Miss John Dale. So
Welcome.
thank you, Jason, once again for coming in. You know, I don't care how late you is, just as long as you show up.
Show
And
up.
that's what you
Yeah.
always do. So and I appreciate you for that. I really, really do. Shout out to
Thank you.
Jason. Shout out to
And
Jason.
Ms. Jondell, we do thank you so much for being here. I did hop in just as she was saying, it takes a lot to always revisit these kind of emotions and this kind of space.
Yes,
So we thank you, we're here for you, and we appreciate you, speaking your truth on this. You hear me?
exactly,
You're
exactly.
welcome.
Now, Miss Jardelle, let's start off by you telling us number one why you're here, what brought you to Peachy Tea Time, who brought you to Peachy Tea Time, and then I want you to tell us about Nacear. Not what happened, but tell us about how he was growing up as a little boy. I think you used to call him Tater, baby.
Say-
Tater. I did my research, baby. I did my research. So tell us about Tater.
Well, you said what brought me here. Well, one of my angel moms actually, Miss Lori, had did an interview with you, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes, she
and
did.
she was telling you about when we met each other in Florida, and she connected us, a couple of the angel moms that's on Marco Polo, with each other. She connected us with you, and then I had called you, and we talked for a good while,
Yes, we did. Yes, we
and here I am.
And here she is. And before you go any further, I must say thank you to Loria. Thank you so much for bringing this lovely lady into my presence. I really, really appreciate it. Um, John Dale is not just a person that's going to be on here today. Me and John Dale has been talking. We got some things that we're gonna be doing in the future just as well. So again, thank you so much, John Dale. I really, really, really appreciate it. I really
You're
do.
welcome.
Yes. Now tell us about Nacear Tater.
Well, Tater, how can I say? Tater, he was a good kid, little fat, little chubby joint. We used to say he looked like Theodore Chickmunk when he was little. He was like short, fat, round. Like he looked like Theodore Chickmunk, them chinky eyes and stuff. But he was a typical child, throwing rocks, busting people car windows, you know, always walk around with his shoes on the wrong foot, trying to hurry up and get out the door. Like he liked the sports. He loves sports, like riding the bikes and stuff like that. He was a typical little child, basically. But he was a mama's boy too. He was a bad mama's boy. That's what he was, a bad mama's boy.
Oh wow. Now did Tater have any siblings
Yes, he has two older brothers and two younger brothers and a sister.
and a sister? Okay, okay. Now did Tater also have any children?
Yes, Tater actually has three three children. One who was born after he passed away.
Mm.
The same
Wow.
year, but after he passed away.
Sorry to hear
Wow.
that.
Yes, and then the other two, how old were the other two when he
How old
passed
are
away?
they now? Or
How
when?
old were they when he passed away?
Oh wow. I think she was like 1.5, and my grandson was 4. My oldest grandson was 4.
Or is it 4 years old? Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Now, when this situation occurred, how old was Nasir?
20.
Well, when this tragedy occurred,
He was
how old was
20.
Nasir?
He was 20.
Okay, my internet messing up on me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
We
you.
can, yeah, we can. Oh, she having the issues.
having the issue.
Right. So
That's
he
what she
was
said. He'll
20.
go off. Yeah, he was 20 years
She should be
old.
coming back here. Gotcha. So and you have to excuse what year was it that it happened again? My mind just slipped me because
It happened in 2015, Memorial Day weekend, 2015.
okay. Oh man, so they're teenagers now. It's children
Yeah.
at least, right? Like the two older ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So if you can like and revisit that moment again, I know it's a tough time to revisit it. But what can you tell us about that day? So the day that it all started, when you woke up that morning, what kind of like what took place in that day, if you can remember?
Okay, so like I said, it was Memorial Day weekend. So
Mhm.
me and my family, we were at a cookout. We had our mindset. We was going to a cookout for my cousin who had passed away. We was at her cookout. Everything was fine. My son was, I guess he was already up southwest, and he had his son with him. And I called his phone and I said, I'm ready to go. I'm about to go home. So meet me with the baby and I'll take him home with me. And you can go head out and, have fun with your friends or whatever,
Mhm.
but make sure you home by the morning time so I could be able to go to work.
Right.
And, everything was fine. We went home, me and the kids, my other two little kids and his son, we went home and we was all getting ready for bed, winding down the day, getting, ready for the next day. And my phone started ringing. So
Mhm.
it was my oldest son, girlfriend, and my second niece. And they both was calling my phone back to back, back to back, back to back. And I was like, I'm not answering it because they probably arguing or something. I'm not answering it. So it kept ringing, but it's just them two calling me. So I'm like, I know something was wrong, but I didn't think that that's
Right.
what it was. So then my daughter was downstairs, her phone started ringing. And then you hear her screaming. I told my youngest son, go
Mm.
downstairs and see what's wrong with her. Like, why? What is she screaming for? So they both came walking up the steps and they like had this blank look on their face. And I'm like, what's the matter? And they was like, Tater got shot. And they say he not moving. I said, what? I said, stop playing with me. They was like, she said, no, mom. They said Tater got shot and he not moving. I said, well, excuse my language, what the fuck? I said, I know ain't nobody shoot my damn son. So then I answered my phone and you just hear like all this screaming and stuff. I said, I'm on my way. I'm on
Oh
my way. I'm on my
yeah.
way. I went downstairs, jumped in my car. I didn't even know where I was going at because I knew where it happened at, but I didn't know what hospital they was going to take him to. So I'm like, okay, I got to like Girard
Okay.
Avenue Bridge. And I'm like, Presbyterian is a trauma unit. Let me go to Presbyterian. So I'm turning the light. I ran the red light. The cop pulled me over. I said, I gotta go to the hospital. They saying my son got shot. You gotta move. So he was like, just go ahead. As I'm on my way, like he got his sirens on, so I'm following behind him. As I get there, the detectives, no, it was the police. I'm sorry. It was the police officer called me.
Please.
And I'm like, yes. Because now I'm annoyed because my phone keep ringing. I'm like, yes. Miss Gredic. I said, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Like, stop calling my phone. I'm on my way. I hear his best friend in the background crying. And I'm like, shit.
Mm.
So when I get there, they, you go through the metal detector and they was like, you can go back there. I said, I'm going back there. Talking about the little room that they send you in. I'm not going back there.
Me next
But
to my
then
son.
the officer was like peeking his head out, like, waving me to come here. So when I got to the back where they, on the side, his best friend was there. His shirt was full of blood. And he kept saying, Mom, he going. Mom, he going. I'm like, no. I said, I want to see my son. So I walked back to like where the security guard and stuff at. Like, can y'all go get a doctor or something? Like, I need to see my son. The doctors came out. Well, this is that. I tuned them out. Like, I want to see my son. I'm not trying to get nothing y'all got to say. Like, let me see my son. So they was like, well, you really can't see him because it's a crime scene. I said, no, it's not a crime scene. That's my child. Like, I want to make sure that my child didn't suffer. By you telling me is not going to make me feel any better. Like, I need to see him with my own eyes. Well, you can't touch him. Don't tell me what I can't do. Like, let me see my son. So then the clergy and them came out, Miss, I'm not trying to hear nothing you got to say. Get out my face. So me, my mom, and my aunts on each side of the family, my dad's sister and my mom's sister, we all just standing there and they talking to her. I'm like, Miss, I'm not like, I don't care what she's saying. Like, let me see my son. Well, I said, okay, so how about this? If y'all don't let me see my son, I'm going to burn this fucking hospital down. Like, let me see my son. So after they negotiated it and all that other stuff, they let me go back there and they was like, you can't touch him. Whatever. I go in the back and my baby, he laying on the table and he like covered up to here. He got the, they got the sheet covered up to here and I'm looking around. Well, did y'all even work on him or anything? Like, it's no, how you see TV shows, the room all messed up. You got surgical stuff here, bloody stuff. It wasn't none of that stuff in here. So I'm looking and I said, oh, he got a little scratch on his nose. I said, he must have fell forward. And he had like a busted lip. Tater had a chipped tooth. So anytime you could tell when Tater got into something, altercation or something, because that lip always bust. So I said, oh, he must have fell. And they looking at me and I'm like, like I'm just shaking my head like, I said, okay. And I turned around and I walked out. And my mom, and by that time, the whole hospital outside all filled up and everything. Me and my mom and all of them was just standing there. And my mom was like, it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. And I was like, Mom, it's not going to be okay. I said, because I can't even pay my cable bill. How am I going to bury my son? My mom said, you don't got to worry about nothing. I got you. I said, but Mom, this shit ain't right. We go outside, everybody out there, they come in telling me stories and stuff. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing at all, nothing. Everybody, they out there talking and stuff. So I'm standing out there and me and my little sister standing next to each other. And it was a couple of my girlfriends was out there too. And on the side, like where they take the people in from the ambulance, I watched that door. I just kept watching that door, And they brung a gurney out with, a body on it and everything. And I knew it was my son. So after they brung the gurney out, they put the gurney in the back of the medical examiner truck or whatever. I said, okay, yo, I'm leaving. I said, my son leaving, I'm leaving. My sister was like, I'm going with you. I was like, I'm okay. You don't got to go home with me. I said, I'm fine. I got home and I'm trying my best to explain to my other two children what happened and what's going on. And it was just like, I couldn't do nothing for them because I still didn't believe it happened. I was in disbelief. The detectives came. They wanted to talk. I left them downstairs with my little sister. You talk to them. I don't got nothing to say to these people. Whatever they need, you give them. You know all the information. Give it to them. I'm going to bed. I went upstairs and I went to sleep. My phone steady ringing, steady ringing, steady ringing. I'm not answering it now because I don't want to talk to nobody. I go to sleep. And my grandma was on my mind. I got up the next morning and I was halfway on my way to work. And my boss was like, I'm calling my boss because like 95 is traffic. And I'm like, I'm on my way to work. I'm running a little late. He was like, where you going? I'm coming to work. He was like, John Dale, what happened last night? I said, what you? I said, oh shit. I blanked it out my mind. Like to me, it didn't happen. Then I said, well, I got to get to my grandma's because I don't want nobody going to my grandma's house. And I don't want nobody to tell my grandma before I could tell my grandma what happened. So I went to my grandma's. I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my grandma, whatever. And my grandma, she was like me. My grandma was a tough cookie. Like, we emotional, but we don't show our emotions. My mom the same way. We don't show our emotions. So me and my grandma sitting there, we talking. She like, what you gonna do? I said, I'm waiting for my mom. I said, I have to wait for my mom. There's nothing I can do. So after me, my mom, and all of us, my family, we talked or whatever. My nephew, my oldest nephew, Kwasim, I'm gonna say his name on the radio, Kwasim. Kwasim said, Aniki, I got something that I could do. I said, what is it? He said, let me figure it out and I'm gonna let you know. I said, okay. My nephew put together a 5-on-5 basketball tournament in a blink of an eye to help me raise money to bury my son. In a blink of an eye, it came together in 2 days. I had a lot of help from my neighborhood, people that I know, people that his father know, and a lot of my family. They helped me a lot. So we made, we had to wait. I had to wait to even go identify his body, even though I identified his body at the hospital. I still had to go to the medical examiner's office. They took I think it was like either 2 or 3 days to even get in contact with me because it was Memorial Day weekend and a couple of people got killed that day. And plus the ones who was like, previous or whatever. So they was backed up. So we get there, me, my aunt, and my cousin. They slid me this white envelope. I slid it to my cousin. He said, what's this for? I said, I don't know what she want me to do with it. So I said, well, open it. And he said, well, what do I said, just open it. The lady said, if that's him, sign your initials on the back. I said, well, if it's him, sign. He was like, well, why? Just sign. If it's him, I said, is that Tater? He said, yeah, okay, sign the back of it. And we gave it back to him. We left. That was it. We started, making preparations for his janazah, which it all came together very good. Like I said, I had a lot of help. And I had a lot of support.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
As we were pulling up into the cemetery, June the 2nd, we was pulling up into the cemetery. The detective called me. Miss Gredic, we got him.
Wow.
I said, y'all got who? He said, we got him. He turned himself in and he brought the gun with him. I said, oh, okay. I said, okay. Once we get everything situated, we'll call you. I said, okay. Like, I just want to make sure I get my son buried. I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Right.
That was my whole attitude. I didn't care. Nothing mattered to me at that point in time. I don't care. I didn't care what people were saying to me. I didn't care. I didn't want to care at all. I didn't want to care. Because whatever they were saying to me, it didn't matter to me at all. It really didn't matter to me. But he turned himself in. We went through the whole trial process and all that other crap. When we got, wait, I'm gonna back it up before I say about when we got to court, because that was like the year after, if I'm not mistaken. It was like the year after. So the next year, 2016, my nephew, he did another basketball tournament, which turned out great. We gave out trophies and honor my son with my son's name on it and everything. And of course, my nephews and my little cousins, they won the championship trophy because they all ball. They all play ball. All of them play ball good. So they won. I wish I had a picture of it, but they won. And then I did a real big cookout.
Mm-hmm.
It was appreciation cookout, basically. I didn't want nobody to bring anything. I footed the whole bill for everything because it was appreciation, just to show them that I appreciated what they did. I appreciated the help that they gave me. So, it was at the same spot. The last I talked to my son and I seen my son alive, my son was at the corner of 32nd and Reed Street. Is a playground right there, Stinger Square Park. That's where I gave it at. Wow. Right there in that park. Because that park now, it means something to me.
Yeah.
That was the last time I talked to my baby in that park. Cussed him out. But that was the last time I talked to my baby. That was the last time I physically seen my baby standing up. So, like I said, we went to court and everything. The lies. I didn't want to hear it. I really didn't want to hear it.
What was it like in there?
It was a lot of tension. It was a lot of tension because his family was very disrespectful, but they didn't know who they was playing with. But they was very disrespectful. Y'all mad at us because what y'all got to come down here? We mad too because he killed my son. So it was like it was very intense, very intense.
So it sounded like they had no sympathy for you at all.
They didn't at all. And his sister got up and spoke, and she was saying all this. I feel bad for you, girl. Don't feel bad for me. You better feel bad for your brother. Don't feel bad for me. I said, and then you lying. Like they was like, no, you can't. I can say what I want to. Tell me what I can't say. Like I don't want her apologies. I don't want none of that. Keep it to yourself. Because you was being rude the whole time. So now keep it to yourself. Because your brother about to get time. Keep all that to yourself. I don't want to hear that.
Now he was trying to break up a fight.
He was trying to break up. This is the story that I got, which I believe half of it, and I don't believe the other half of it. It was supposed to have been his cousin was in the park arguing with somebody. My son and his friends was at the water ice stand across the street. His cousin pulled ahead, said, Tater, come on, we and blow this nigga head off. And my son came running through the park. First of all, my son don't run, he skip run. Okay. They're saying that as my son was coming into the park, my son had a gun in his hand. No, he didn't. In court, they were saying that my son was like clowning him, like you a nut, you ain't about that, like this is that and the third, which I believe that because that's my son. If my son feel like if he could clown you and he could make fun of you, he's going to do it. Like he's going to do it because he's going to prove to you that he's not scared, regardless of what you got in your hand or whatever. He's not scared. Big, tall, short, he's not scared. So he's going to clown you. He's going to talk about you. He's going to make fun of you. He's going to do all that stuff. The boy didn't want to fight my son. My son, and I always say this, my son did the ultimate that you're not supposed to do. My son turned his back
And walk away.
and went to walk away. And he shot my son. My son got shot in his butt and in his back.
I'm so sorry.
And it was like, he know. All my kids, they know. Don't never turn your back on nobody, regardless if you're not scared of them enough. And don't turn your back. Don't turn your back. But my son didn't feel like he was in no danger. He didn't feel like that boy was a threat to him.
Right.
So he turned his back. Turning his back cost him his life.
Cost him his life, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And was it a lot of people out there? So like everybody knew exactly who did it?
I mean, they didn't even know this boy. This boy was from, where the hell is, forgot where he from, but he wasn't from Southwest. He was out there with his nephew because it was an altercation that happened earlier that day with somebody else. So he was out there, you know, for his nephew or whatever, but he doesn't live in Southwest. So nobody really knew of him. They knew of the nephew, but they didn't know him. He's a nobody anyway. So ain't nobody, like, nobody knew him. And it was people out there, but it was dark too. And in a park, park don't have a lot of light. It was dark. So it was like a couple of girls was at the water ice stand, but they started, once they heard, I guess, the shots, they started running into the park where they were at because they knew Tater ran in the park. So they started, you know, coming into the park. And they're the ones who caught me, which his best friend was there with him, holding him, waiting, you know, for the cops to come with him. And he rode to the hospital with my son and the cop because they didn't wait for the ambulance to come. They just picked them up and they, you know, transported them in the cop car. And his best friend was not letting him go. He wouldn't let him go. So the cops had no other choice but to take him with them because he wasn't letting my son go.
Wow.
Now, did he pass on scene or did he pass later in the hospital?
To me, he passed on the way to the hospital. I think he passed on the way to the hospital. Because like I said, it wasn't no evidence of like they worked on him or nothing. It was no type of evidence like that in the room. The room was clean. So I'm thinking that he passed on the way to the hospital.
Okay. Now, you did an article.
Which one? I did a couple.
Now, the Marshall Project, Life Inside the Marshall Project, that one was a very touching article. The one with you holding the picture of your son. And it was titled, this is what I wanted to ask you about, the title. My son Nacear was killed on Memorial Day. It took me 2 years to cry.
It did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I was mad.
2 years to cry.
I was mad. I wanted blood. I was mad. Like I was furious. And from me being so angry and so mad, I didn't allow myself to cry. But then again, you know how when people go to the hospital when their loved ones pass away, they falling out, all that other stuff. People expected that from me. Mm-hmm. They expected me to fall out. They expected me to cry. They expected me to cuss everybody out. And I didn't give them what they wanted. Because I wasn't going to allow myself to do all that. I wasn't. So I held a lot of my anger in, a lot of it in. And I had started going to a grief group. And from there, it was like the ladies there, they embraced me. They was all older than me. They embraced me very well. And they let me know that it's okay to cry. Crying does not show a sign of weakness. It's okay to cry. And I've been crying ever since.
Now let me read one of the things that you said in here. Let me get to it about as far as crying about the situation. Hold on, let me get to it. You said when in December 2017, shortly after the man who murdered Nacear was found guilty, I started crying while I was watching something on TV. I don't even remember what it was that made me react that way. When the tears would not stop, I called a friend from Mothers in Charge and
Mhm.
asked her what was wrong with me. She said I was crying because I had finally accepted that Nasir was gone. Now, do you feel that's the case? Like that
Um,
was your breakthrough because you finally realized 2 years later that Nasir was gone and wasn't coming back?
that that's when my head told me. My head told me that he was going. My heart didn't.
Mm,
My head did.
Mm,
Like come to reality.
mhm,
Because in my mind, my son was locked up. And I kept that in the back of my mind. He's locked up. He wasn't dead. He was locked up.
wow.
So and I still don't remember. And I remember when I said that, and I still to this day I do not remember what I was watching. I was sitting on the edge of my bed and I just started crying and I'm shaking my head like, what the hell is wrong with me?
Right. Like a
Because
little bit
I'm
breakdown.
crying and I know the tears is coming out, but I'm
Mhm,
like, what is wrong with me?
right.
And I'm just sitting here and I'm just crying
Well, because at this moment you don't know where it's coming from, right?
at
And it's
all.
like the grief finally catching up with you
Yep.
and kind of working through that process, right?
And
right.
it just all
So
came out.
let's kind of talk about that, right? Like now we're in the grieving process of this loss. What were some of the things? I know you said you called out to the mothers group, at least
Hmm.
one of them, and they kind of assist you. Is there anything like else that you did to kind of like start to cope with the ideas of this is it, this is finally
Talking about them
okay?
often, posting stuff about them, putting up pictures of them. That's what helped me.
Hmm.
Cause I talk about my son to anybody who want to listen. Even if they don't want to listen, I'm still going to talk.
You go- you gonna be like, I got a memory and I got a something that
Yeah,
correlates
I'm
with
gonna
it,
start
right?
talking. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I could just be sitting there, be like, damn, Teddy used to watch that. Like, and sometimes I know people probably be like, oh my god, here she go again. Yup, here she go again.
Here she right, exactly. Yes,
Yup,
I
here she
am.
go
Right.
again. If you don't want to
Indeed.
hear about them, stay away from me.
That
That's
part.
how that's going to go because I'm going to talk about my child.
Exactly. 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 I'm still having computer issues, y'all. I do apologize. I done restarted my computer and did all of that. So I definitely apologize for tonight.
Right.
With my computer issues, I will be calling Xfinity on tomorrow. I sure will. See, maybe they can do something.
I mean,
But
you're doing just fine.
I didn't get the chance to play the video that we had. It's a very short video, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that. And after we get done with that, we're gonna go into our Wednesday commercial. And when we come back, I just got a couple more questions to ask you, Miss John Dale, before we get into the tribute. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and play the. We're gonna do the fair usage, the small clip, which is the news broadcast, and then we're gonna go into our Wednesday commercial. Here we go.
Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Another 19-year-old was killed in a separate shooting in southwest Philadelphia around the same time last night. He was shot twice in the chest at the Cano Rec Center. Police recovered a gun along with cash and a cell phone from the area. They're still working to identify the suspects who drove away from the shooting in a dark-colored car.
Hey, y'all. It's your girl, the missus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. Thank y'all so much for joining me and Jason tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if we got a special guest, thank you, special guest. I thank you for coming, sharing your story. But y'all make sure y'all watch us each and every Wednesday, okay? Each and every Wednesday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Where you said? You said where? Roku TV, Facebook, YouTube, and also Twitch, baby. Twitch. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, PGT Time spelled with a Y. And make sure you also follow me on all the other platforms just as well. Thank you so much for joining us each and every Wednesday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Back to the show we go, baby. We going back. Bye. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Miss Jondell, you do so much for the community. Just as well. You have the gatherings and everything. What makes you still be supportive to go out there and do for your community, do for the young people, help the other mothers that been in your situation just as well? What gives you the strength to do that?
I don't know. I just do it because now I know what it feel like now. And I know, like I said, I know what it feel like. I know the pressure. And if I can, go assist another mother, talk to another mother, just let her know that I understand how she feel.
Right.
Then my work is done. And plus, it's just it's unexplainable why I do it. But I don't want nobody. I wouldn't want this on my worst enemy. Literally, I wouldn't want this on my worst enemy. I wouldn't want another mother to go through what I go through on a daily basis, because even though, okay, it been 8 years, but I could sit here and I can replay that day like it happened yesterday.
Right, exactly.
Is embedded in my head.
I adore your transparency. It got to me. She said, "I don't know," and you know what it is, right? It's really God speaking through you. And I don't know where you are in your spiritual beliefs with it, but it's also saying, like you just said, there's a lot of mothers that may or have been through this situation in this scenario, and it's like I can share my story, and maybe it will help you in some space. It ain't gonna be the end all or be all, but it's to say that, girl, I know what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I know exactly how you feel. Those days where, again, like you said, these tears coming from nowhere. I don't know how I'm gonna stop from crying because I got shit to do. But I'm gonna just talk about my baby, and that's all you can do sometimes. And then that means that he's reaching out to say, "Hey, I love you, Ma. I'm still here." And like you said something earlier that really spoke to me. You said he didn't pass; he was just locked up. And sometimes you can see that in the living circumstances that some of us are in, they're locked to the social standards of what's going on in the economy in their world. And at that moment, he was locked in the craziness of what the community had in store for him. So now he was
Mhm.
able to be set free in a very tragic way, but it allowed him to be now a free person for him and everyone else around him, right?
Basically,
In many ways, right? But
basically.
right, it's amazing that you can still sit here and speak to it as confident and as vulnerable as you are today. So thank you again.
You're welcome. I'm always like this. Haha.
She said, "It's me." And you-
Yeah, because I mean, crying ain't what's crying. What is crying gonna do?
right.
Crying gonna give me a headache,
Oh, big
and
eyes
I
and a
don't.
headache.
Yeah, and I don't deal good with headaches. And
Right.
then crying is gonna slow me down. I got to keep on moving. I got babies that I got to take care of.
And that was another thing I was gonna ask you too. You said your grandkids helped you get through this just
Yeah,
as well.
is my all of my grandkids played a part in my healing process because I know that like now I'm the grandma and the dad, but the last one is the last one. He's so bad, but it's that last one, Nacear. He named after my son.
Oh.
He looked like my son. He got that big toe like my son. He is my son all the way around the board. That's my calm after the storm.
That part. Exactly.
He is the one. He is the one. He the one that stopped me from doing the crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
He the one who saved that boy family life. He was the one
Oh.
because I was expecting him. I found out his mother was pregnant the day after my son got killed.
That's when you found out?
That's when I found out she was pregnant. The day after my son got killed.
Mm.
And my youngest son told me,
Wow.
"Man, you know Janet pregnant." I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Are you serious?" And I told her, I said, "Do me a favor." I said, even though I know I said I didn't want no more grandkids just yet because I'm young. I was young. Don't get rid of that baby. I said, keep that baby, please. I will help you take care of that baby. Whatever that baby need, I will help you with. Don't get rid of that baby.
Amazing.
And she was like, I'm not. And just think, my son's birthday is 11/12. My grandson was born 11/21.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
He was born 11/21.
Man, if you don't believe in the spirit, I got goosebumps right now. If you don't believe in it, look, hey, hear me now.
And me
Some
and John
people,
Dale, when we spoke on the phone, we spoke about numbers.
Yep.
Spoke
that's
about numbers.
crazy. Well, speaking of numbers, someone in the chat did ask a question. How much time did the killer get uh
Third,
for
he got
his crime?
15 to 30. He got third degree.
Third degree.
Yeah, he
And
got he got sentenced to 15 to 30 years.
knowing that and going through the trial and everything, how did that impact your family? How did it impact you? How do you feel about the outcome?
It wasn't fair,
Thanks.
but I don't care. Like they could have gave him life. They could have gave him 4 years. They could have gave him nothing. Like it wouldn't have mattered to me.
Right. It doesn't change anything.
It
Because
doesn't
you
change
know it's not
anything.
bringing them back.
It doesn't because it's not going to bring my son back.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care how much time they gave him. Yeah, I really don't. I don't care.
Understood.
That's understood, John Dale. That's understood. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get into Nasir's tribute, because I do know that John Dale got to go to work tonight, so I appreciate you taking the time out to come on here just as well. So let's go ahead and get into Nasir tribute. Um, Again, I do these tributes for every family that comes on this show. I make sure that they get a copy of it at the end of the show. But it's just to give my appreciation, Jason's appreciation, um, and letting you know that we thank you for trusting us with your son's story. So
And
here
I
we go.
appreciate you.
You're welcome. You are so welcome.
So
Here we go.
All I hear is raindrops falling from the rooftop. Oh, baby, tell me why'd you have to go? 'Cause this pain I feel it won't go away. And today I'm officially missing you. I thought that from this heartache I could escape. Might have run it long enough to know there ain't no way. And today I'm officially missing you. Ooh, can nobody do me like you? I said every little thing you do. Hey baby, say it stays on my mind. And I officially, it's official. Ooh, you know that I'm missing you, yeah, yeah, yeah. All I hear is raindrops. Ooh, yeah. And I'm officially missing you.
All right, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Again, this is something that I do for every family that comes on the show. Um, I take great pleasure out of making the video for the families, but at the same time, it always, 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 always make me sad. It always make me sad. Um, but this is something that you will be able to keep for yourself forever. You can look at it whenever you want to look at it. You can share it with your family, with your friends. But this is something that's for you, Miss Chandel.
I appreciate it.
You're
You got me
so
tearing up.
you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Jason, is there anything you would like to say?
Again, we thank you for coming on the show, being as vulnerable as you are, speaking about your son and his situation. But not only that, but shine a light on him. And one thing that I do adore is that you continue to give back to the community by holding get-togethers, by celebrating life that is, whether it is ones that has passed or ones that are still with us. To organize and do all that in the name of your son, but not only that, just the love for your community says a lot about who you are as an individual. So thank you again, and my heart goes out to you and your family.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's one of the things that stuck out to me about Miss John Dale, which was that she continues to give back to the community. She didn't just say, F them. I'm finna go and live under a rock and I ain't finna be bothered with nobody no more. She didn't do that. She knows that there's young youth out there in the community that need to be saved just as well. So she's doing her thing. She's doing what she's supposed to do in the community and by God just as well. We have to make sure we say that. God is shining down on you, John Dale. He is shining down on you, and I'm sure he is pleased with what you're doing with everything, with the babies, with your own children that you have just as well, and the children in your community. Because I know it don't stop just with your grandkids and with your kids. I know there's other children out there that you're helping just as well. So we definitely appreciate that. We need you. We need more of you out there in the world just as well. Nate, can you please let us know some of the groups that you're a part of?
Okay, so I am Currently now, I am a part of a group called Moms Bonded by Grief. We're small, but we some strong women. Together,
That's
we
it.
stand together. We strong. Um, and it's like a sisterhood with us. It's really like a sisterhood with us. We come together. We have group every Wednesday on Zoom,
Okay.
and we do a lot of different, activities and stuff for the children and with each other.
Okay.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, you go ahead.
And I am an angel mom from with the Trayvon Martin Foundation. I've been an angel mom since 2019.
Okay. Okay. And you also went around collecting bullets. I told you I had my bracelet. I
Oh
told
yeah.
you I had my
Oh
bracelet.
yeah,
Shout out to Loria.
Lori.
So can you explain to everyone that's watching about these bracelets?
Okay, so them bracelets right there. The bullet is a symbol of one life saved. Each bullet bracelet is one life saved. One bullet, one life.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And it in the inside of the bullet, they gut the bullets out, and in the inside of the bullet is a scripture. Some of them they have different ones in them, but it has sayings in them, different scriptures, different sayings, and stuff like that. And that is Bullets for Life, Indiana.
All right. And I got my bracelet from Loria during my 1 year anniversary party. There was a gentleman by the name of Bernardo Malone. He came down here and presented me with a certificate and with the bracelet. So again, I thank you, Loria, so much. I wear mine all the time.
And all
All the
my
time.
mothers in my group have them. All my
Yeah.
mothers that's in Moms Bonded by Grief, all of them have bullet bracelets. Lori made sure that all of them have bullet bracelets. Even when new mothers join the organization, they all get a bullet bracelet.
That's awesome. That
I
is
love
awesome.
you too, Nene.
I told you, girl, they showed up for you today. They definitely showed up for you today. Oh, Carmen said I would love to have one. How could I get one?
Bullets
Um,
for Life, Indiana. They're
yeah,
on
Brooklyn for Life
Facebook.
in Indiana.
What's her name on Facebook?
Loria Perez. I
But
know
it's
I can reach out to her and I can get you one, Carmen, just as well. So that's what I'll do. I'll reach out to her before the end of the weekend and we'll see how we can get you one. And that's for anybody out there that's watching. Anybody that's out there that's watching. If you're interested in one, please, please let me know. And I will reach out to Loria and we can go ahead and have one sent to you. Okay? We'll do it like that. All right. Hey, BG girl, what it do, girl? What it do? Y'all showed up and showed out tonight. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for supporting John Dale tonight. Um, this is not easy. It's not easy coming up on here talking to people that you've never seen before. She may have talked to me over the phone, but she's never seen me before. And now she's coming on the platform, not just to talk to me and Jason, but to talk to everyone that's out there watching. So it's not easy, but at the same time, this ain't John Dale first time. This is not John Dale first. It's our first time on Peach Tea Time. But John Dale been doing her thing out there in these streets, baby. You used to go online, correct? And do
yes.
your own shows.
No, we do. No, I did one interview with Miss Sonia. What was her? Oh gosh, she gonna kill me. She gonna kill me. She gonna kill me. Because I forgot the name of her radio station, but that was my first interview, and when I say that had over 19K,
Wow.
it was over 19K
Wow.
from
Yeah.
Miss
So
Sonia.
everybody was in the building. Look,
Yeah,
everybody was in the building.
yeah.
That's what's That's what's up. Well, again, John Dale, I thank you so much. Please let everybody know where they can find you.
Y'all can find me on Facebook. I be on Instagram, but I don't know how to work Instagram. But I mostly be on Facebook. And Nacear Gredic is the picture, not the picture of me and my son dancing, because I have 2 pages. It's a picture of me and my sister as babies. I be on there. Don't try to blow up my inbox because I will ignore y'all. If y'all come in my inbox with some crazy stuff, no.
Yeah.
I will ignore y'all. And any mothers out there that y'all feel like, if y'all feel like y'all alone, or y'all get depressed or whatever, my organization, Moms Bonded by Grief, we do have a Facebook page and a Facebook page and an Instagram page. Y'all can always join that group. It'd be a lot of different inspirational stuff on there, a lot of things that people need to know, and
All right. Well, y'all, I thank y'all so much for watching. We got Philly in the building, baby. Okay, Philly is in the building. So thank you so much, John Dale, for coming. That's one thing I forgot to ask you in the beginning of the show where you were from, which I already
Philly all day long.
Philly.
215.
Yes. Well, thank you once again. Jason, thank you just as well. Again, everyone, I apologize for my in and out because of my internet issues. It's storming out here. So I apologize, but make sure y'all tune in on Friday, which is Love and Relationships Night with me and my husband, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time, okay? Eastern Time. And again, John Dale, I can't thank you enough, baby. I can't thank you enough.
You're
And
welcome.
we're going to do some business, okay? We're going to do some business.
Most definitely.
Others on the show just as well, okay?
Most definitely.
Now, before we go, John Dale, I would like for you to stay on for at least a good about 2-3 minutes after I end the broadcast. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play the tribute one more time, and then we're gonna show the Peachy News commercial where you guys can come on the show just as well, just like John Dale has done, and tell your loved one's story. Okay, so here we go. Love you guys. Let's start with the commercial first. Then we're gonna do that tribute again.
Peachy Tea Time is for the culture. If you or someone you know that has dealt with the death of a loved one due to gun violence, domestic violence, the prison system, or even by the police, Peachy Tea Time also provides a platform for missing person cases as well as wrongfully imprisoned inmates. Please like and share this video to get the word out, so the families can get their loved ones' stories out. Email peachyteatime at peachyteatime@gmail.com. You can also DM, inbox, or text to 470-620-9916. Thanks for watching.
All I hear is raindrops falling from the rooftop. Oh, baby, tell me why'd you have to go? 'Cause this pain I feel it won't go away. And today I'm officially missing you. I thought that from this heartache I could escape, but I've run it long enough to know there ain't no way. And today I'm officially missing you. Ooh, can nobody do me like you? I said every little thing you do, hey said stays on my mind. And officially, it's official. Ooh, you know that I'm missing you, yeah, yeah, yeah. All I hear is raindrops. Ooh, yeah, and I'm officially missing you.
Return, please return. Please return, please return, please return.